we want to work with you. Obviously, we want to get our name out, but we also want to bring information of value to the farmer. That gets our ears to perk up because our farmers want to either put more money in their pocket or keep more money in their pocket, especially during times when margins are tight.
I'm Brownfield's Meghan Grebner. With me today, Aaron Putze, who is the Chief Officer in Brand Management with Iowa Soybean Association, and Lee Brooke, an Iowa farmer. Thank you for taking some time to talk with us today.
Oh, you're very welcome. We value our partnership with AGI.
Well, let's start first. Aaron, tell me a little bit about what you do and the mission of the Iowa Soybean Association.
So at Iowa Soybean Association, we like to say that we're driven to deliver on the issues and the programming that matter to soybean farmers like Lee. We have about 40,000 soybean farmers in Iowa, so everything we do is focused on serving them. One of the things I do at ISA is work with industry partners to deliver for the soybean farmer.
Lee, let's talk a little bit about your operation. Where are you from and what do you raise?
I'm in southwest Iowa, Corinda, in the very southwest corner of Iowa. We have a diversified operation. We about 33,000 to 3,500 acres of which consist of corn, soybeans, hay, pasture, mama cows. We feed some cattle and also have a hog barn.
I love that diversification, and I think it's almost its own form of risk management, right?
Yes, it is.
So let's talk a little bit, as you're looking ahead to 2025, obviously there's some challenges. I would assume there's some opportunities as well for Iowa agriculture. What are some of the things that are on your radar?
Well, from my perspective in working with farmers, you have to look at trade, you have to look at demand. There's some headwinds there. I think on the positive side, there's some good things to talk about in trade and demand. Just returned from a trade mission to Central America. They source almost 100% of their soybean meal from the United States. They're looking to grow. They need help with some of their logistics. I think we're already there working with them on that goal and that purpose. That bodes very well. And I think also it's just helping farmers weather these times. And that means doing what we do from a research standpoint on their farms to help them be more productive, and also working with companies like AGI from a grain management standpoint. I think there's a lot of positives that come from just being able to do better by your grain for better returns.
All about protecting that
Yes.
that long-term protection of your investment, right?
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit as you're looking at your operation in 2025. What are you seeing as some challenges or concerns, but also some opportunities as well?
Well, there's a lot of concerns this year coming up with the price of beans, and that's where I guess as the board member and the checkoff helping but allocate checkoff dollars, we're looking. The Iowa board is always looking out for the farmer's dollar and trying to put it where it helps the price, in research and in getting the beans sold worldwide, and traveling and talking to a lot of foreign buyers, but the challenges this year is a lot of cost and low prices, and we're looking anywhere to improve that.
We're talking about the power of partnerships today and really focusing on that. Lee, as you think about that, how does that kind of make its way in your operation, thinking about not only partnering and utilizing AGI, but being a member and active within the Iowa Soybean Association?
Well, it's awesome to have AGI as a partnership with the Iowa Soybean, and it gives exposure. I feel like it gives exposure for our members. It gives exposure for AGI, and it worked both ways. And I personally had built a new AGI bin just this last summer, a 65,000 bushel bin on my farm.
On the partnership element, you mentioned a little bit about that briefly, but as you think about that long term, how does that help your growers and your members in terms of profitability and operations?
Well, it certainly is a partnership, and that means the conversation goes both ways. We've had a great partnership conversations with AGI with their entire team because they're focused on bringing value to the farmer. It aligns very well with Iowa Soybean Association. So when we have a partner who comes to us and says, we want to work with you, obviously we want to get our name out, but we also want to bring information of value to the farmer. That gets our ears to perk up because our farmers want to either put more money in their pocket or keep more money in their pocket, especially during times when margins are tight. And so when there can be an opportunity to bring information of value to a farmer around something that maybe they overlook, which is how are they storing and conditioning their grain. That's a huge investment that they make. So if they're already doing that, what can they add to that to bring more value to their operation? AGI has done that through our conduit with farmers through meetings. We just did a grain academy that we're involved in with AGI. We also have meetings coming up where they're going to be partnering with us and then coming onto the agenda and sharing some very timely and pertinent information.
Lee, when you think about your operation, what does AGI bring to the table in terms of not only education, but providing the equipment and the technology that you need?
As things have got in the last several years have moved real fast, and it's like the grain monitoring systems are phenomenal when you can, sit in your house and look at your phone and monitor what's going on when you have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of grain inventory sitting in your bins. I mean, 15 years ago, you couldn't do that, or whatever year started. But I mean, it's just, you think about that, and it's a fast moving world, and it's not going to change. It's a big value.
I would also assume from a farmer perspective, that safety element as well, not having to spend time in a green bin or do those things that are awfully dangerous.
Not have to climb up on top of that 50-foot bin or whatever, and you still have to sometimes, but there's a lot of elements to that to keep you up there off of that bin with icy or whatever days like that.
You mentioned some of the educational series and the academies that you partnered with AGI. Talk about the importance of that relationship and that education element, and maybe leave us with some of events you have coming up.
Yeah, so again, from an informational standpoint, farmers like Lee want to know, he talked about the investment that they're making in that grain, and if we can be adding value to that, we don't have all the answers at Iowa Soybean Association, but our farmers come to us and they say, we want you to coalesce expert in this area, expertise. And so we don't know it all under our roof, but when we can partner with companies like AGI, we can then bring that information from a third party, bring it to them, help them, again, do better on their farm. We like to say better grain management for greater returns. And it's worked very well. We have some meetings coming up later this month, one in the Sioux City area where AGI will partner with us, bring that information to the table. And we're looking to keep the conversation going. And it's partnerships like this that drive the industry and drive ISA forward.
Lee, Aaron, thank you so much for your time today. Here's to a safe and bountiful growing season in 2025.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Meghan Grebner for Brownfield.